नमस्ते। मैं हूं गौरव त्रिपाठी। मैं और मेरी टीम लेकर आए हैं एक नई पॉडकास्ट सीरीज़ कोड केओस क्लैरिटी। ये सीरीज़ है जीपीयूज़ एआई और रिलेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के बारे में, उनके इम्पैक्ट, अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ और चैलेंजेस के बारे में। तो यदि आपका इंटरेस्ट है लेटेस्ट टेक इनोवेशन प्रोडक्ट्स और चैलेंजेस के अराउंड, तो प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें हमारे चैनल को। ये सीरीज़ हम स्पॉटिफाई पर भी लेके आ रहे हैं, तो प्लीज़ वहाँ भी हमें फॉलो करें। योर सपोर्ट मीन्स द वर्ल्ड फॉर अस, so please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Gaurav Tripathi and I'm here today with Mr. Rajeev Patayeet, CEO of Vintech. Hello Rajeev,
Hello, Gaurav.
welcome to Code, Chaos and Clarity. So Rajeev, what are your expectations from our conversations today?
Looking at the name of the program, Code Chaos Clarity, how can we bring clarity in the new world of AI, and how we can help the upcoming researchers and the technocrats in getting this clarity? That's what my judgment was.
Very interesting. I'll try to do justice to that.
Okay. Yes.
Great. So Vintech has been a great partner for us in our journey with Nvidia and GPUs, and that's where the relationship goes back almost decade, and uh, they have been great support. And Mr. Rajiv himself has been a great support, and other than that the Vintech entire team, and hence when we thought of the podcast, and since we are talking about things around computing, GPUs, AI, yeah, it wasn't complete unless we have him. So that's the background.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so Rajiv, where are you from originally? Can you share some light on your childhood, your school, your family? How was it?
Okay, so basically, my father is from Marathwada, uh, a place called Beed, 30 kilometers, one small town which has got hardly 800 people living there
In Maharashtra.
in Maharashtra. So central Maharashtra, Beed district, and my father had all education done in all that Beed, Aurangabad area. He was working in malaria office, state governments, and at that time malaria was a major concern. Today also it is there, but it has gone into some different. So he was in working in malaria. He thought, let's do law. So he parallelly did law while working in government job. He was posted in Nanded. Suddenly he decided in 1970 that I'm quitting this job. I want to do practice as a lawyer. And out of nowhere, he decided to come in Pune. There was nobody who was relative, nobody knew us, him really speaking. I was 5 years old that time. And so he shifted. Everybody else in the family was saying, why are you taking this decision? You should stay here. But he decided to stay here, and then he made his entire career in Pune. So when I'm born in Beed, brought up in Pune. So actually now I'm Punekar. So my complete education happened in Pune. My schooling happened in Pune. We had a very tough competitive friend circle in school. So the competition got uh, built in during those school days. Actually, it was such a healthy competition that one of my few 4 or 5 friends they used to be on toppers, and our numbers used to start from there. So 7, 8, 9 that way. So it was kind of good competition that time. Then got into engineering, MIT, COEP, but that was the first year of MIT. My father decided that let's get into MIT because he was instrumental in some decision making that time. So I happened to get into MIT and completed my engineering from MIT.
Which batch was it at MIT?
83 was first private colleges sanctioned, and 87 was pass out. So when MIT started, Karar sir was sitting in one room in Shivaji Maratha, and the registrar was sitting in another room, and that's how we took the admission. And my father cancelled COEP's admission. He said, why are you going to a new college, private college? We don't know, there are no professors, there is no place, there is no infrastructure. His career will get spoiled. When I look back, I thought it could be either way. Had I been gone to COEP, I could have been a technocrat. But when I get into MIT, I got into business. So after the good school days where the competition was very high and healthy, that set the tone for my thinking in engineering side, and that's how I got enrolled into COEP. But that was the first year of the private colleges in Maharashtra. So MIT was the first option, which was very close to us. So I took an admission in electronics and telecommunication in MIT, leaving the admission of COEP, which was electrical. So that was a different decision, actually, I will say. Had I been stayed in COEP, I would have become a technocrat. But after getting into MIT, mixing with the different crowd at all, I think it shaped me to get into business that way.
How was it like? Was there already a computer lab or something? How was the infrastructure and in terms of when you could see that COP was there, and here at MIT was a new college. How was it back then in those days?
Tough, really tough. Because when I took the admission, Karar sir was sitting in one room, and the registrar was sitting in the other room taking the admissions. These were the two guys who started MIT actually. And MIT was in a private place, Shivaji Maratha on Bajirao Road. No, it had only had land, but no setup of colleges or this thing. But it caught up very fast. And in the third year, we shifted to the current campus of MIT WPU, which is known as WPU these days. So that time the computer started coming in, and I saw computer XT in 87, and the hard disk was today's GPU size. Actually, 20 GB hard disk used to get fitted into a slot like GPU sits today. So it was definitely, I mean, there were not many computers that time. So 60 students batch, so everybody used to get some turn to work on that. Microprocessors and all the stuff was pretty settled in this thing, but computers, yes. And it was computer science was the new thing at that time, so I took a elective as computer science, and we were learning those COBOLs and Fortrans languages that time. So all in all, if you see, we were just getting acquainted with the computers that way. And after graduating from MIT, I got into a job which was in the same field, but didn't continue for a long time in the same field of computer science for 3 months. After 6 months, I left that job.
So I'll again go back to the campus.
Yes.
You mentioned computers, but how was the access to those computers? Like, did you get the access Did you get the access only when you became a senior, or you like was it a easy access, limited access? How was it?
We were seniors, so there was no question of anybody controlling our this thing. But since the computers were not so many, it was rationing. I mean, the batches of 5. So you can get 1 hour as a lab for those 5. So those who are really interested will do actual job. Others will look at it. How do you know how it is? But yes, I mean, it was not so easily available today how it is available. It was not so easily available that time. And that time there were no initiations like AICTE today. So the regulations, these many computers had to be there for the students. It was a new branch which was coming up. So it was definitely rationing which used to happen for the access to the computers.
And how were you as a student? Like more studious, sincere kind of, or like a rebel kind of? How were you?
Actually, I will tell you, I will not call myself as a rebel. Uh, I will call myself as ambitious, definitely. And had I been to COEP, I would have been studious. I would definitely sure. But coming to MIT, the blend changed a lot that time. So actually, I will say MIT's tenure shaped me as a businessman more than a technocrat, really speaking. So the interactions we had with the friends there, they came from different backgrounds. That time, getting an admission into engineering college was difficult, actually difficult. I mean, the admission used to those PCM and PCB marks, and there were it used to get closed at 92, 93. So the students who had scored 90 are still good, but they didn't get admissions to engineering colleges that time. Private colleges helped them to come in. So that blend of different, being extremely studious and that on the borderline was the difference actually. So rebellion, I will not consider myself as rebellion. Not studious also. So in between that way.
Great. You mentioned about ambition. So at that time, the college days, and you mentioned that it shaped you maybe for the business better. But what was going on in your mind at that time when, let's say, you were just about to out of the college? So you had the path chalked out that yes, I'll take up a job, I'll do this, or you had already thought of that, no, I'll do something different, or I'll take up a business?
See, I will tell you. After 10th, uh, I was getting good marks always. But after 10th, it was 1981, 1982. So I joined, one of the ambitions or aspiration was, can I get into IITs? So I joined a class, Rahalkar. That was only one class in Pune that time. And one of my very close friends, Dr. Rajeev, who is a dean or he's a HOD in computer science in UPenn. So he was one of the influencers and चल मेरे साथ study पढ़ाई करते IIT. So I joined the class. After 7-8 months, I could judge myself that I am not an IIT material. It was tough, definitely, and I was understanding, knowing that I'm failing here. That gave me that clarity. I mean, I always say when now a lot of people come to interview, or the young kids, or whenever we go into colleges together, or this thing, that clarity is very much required in the students or the person who is graduating in his mind. That where do I stand? It's self-analysis if you do, that helps in the long run. So by the time I graduated into engineering, I had understood that I am not an IIT person. So my more inclination will be towards techno-commercial role rather than being a completely technical role. So that clarity I got from that Raharkar classes, which was used to be in city. And so IIT was a disaster for me. The examination that time it was only one exam, not just
Yes.
today's format. So I was never nearby in 2000. 2000 you should have been 17, 1800, and you can
Yeah.
get a good, at least a decent college in IIT admission. But I was never nowhere there. So by the time I graduated from MIT, I understood that yes, it may not be the right may for me to go for post graduation, for example, masters, MTech, or ME, or that kind of thing. I rather do MBAs and this, but I didn't do that also. Got into a job. Actually, got into job. My father, as you were asking me, my father by the time he had, was one of the top 5 lawyers in Pune. So he asked me, do you want me to put word in Tata Motors or Bajaj? Because he was a lawyer for Municipal College, Municipal Corporation. So that time, those days were of octroi. So all these people used to come to him. So let me find my own way. If I fail, that time I will come to you. That time you suggest what needs to be done. I I I will classic. I will tell you. I did job for 9 years. Not a. I did a job for 9 years, and I changed 3 jobs. Not a single interview I have given. By luck, by God's grace, I got those jobs, I will say. But all those jobs kept me, you can say, refining my skills. So today, when I look back, uh, I should have done post graduation. Yes, I always tell my daughter or the young kids that you get into a job immediately after graduation, you may not do your post graduation. So think of it, if you want to do post graduation, better do it immediately. Coming back again after 2, 3 years is difficult. Tried thrice to do post graduation in computers, in CDAC, in all attempts failed after 6 months. So I could judge myself that after getting into a job, continuing education is difficult. Only change which can happen is MBA. So today when I look back, I got all the practical experiences. I do not have theoretical background. Now because of the position in the business, we did IIM courses, 5 days, both those for executive programs and all these things. So I consider that as a uh, compounding with a theoretical background to the practical knowledge, and it's helping me now. So had I done MBA after say 2, 3 years, it would have helped me. But while doing the job, I was doing actually technical roles. So it didn't click that I might that time again thinking was whether I should get into technical side, research and development and productions and all those things, or techno commercial. So actually that time commercial had taken a backstage. That is why I didn't pursue MBA. So actually post graduation didn't happen for me.
And
I should have done it.
And what was the job? The first job?
Okay, so first job was in computers, Sara Electronics. It was a disaster for me actually. Then I shifted. It was a classic example. I mean, I always say there was one. There is an organization called LTech in Lonavala, and Sara Electronics and LTech had a association. It is 87 December. So Sara Electronics used to sell LTech's UPS, and LTech was in manufacturing in UPS. He's very good technical. I always say I got very good bosses. in my all 9 years of this thing, and I take it very positively. I mean, so after doing the training in Mumbai, Sara Electronics, Worli में उनका office था. I was posted in Pune. It was a walking distance from here to the gate of our building. It was such a nearby for me that office was. So I used to go at 9 o'clock, and there was not much of sale. Hardly 1 or 2 pieces used to get sold in those days. So I was sitting and playing computer game. Classic example. And Mr. Deshpande, who used to run LTE, he came behind and he was watching me, and he blasted me for 30 minutes. He blasted me for 30 minutes. Patayeet, is this an age you should play game? You should be actually doing study. You should be working on this. For this, you did this engineering. How can you play games at 9 o'clock in the morning at the age of 22? 30 minutes he blasted me. You will not believe, Gauravji. Till today, after that, I have not played a single game, computer game.
Oh my God.
Not a single computer game. It's so engraved in my mind that my entire office knows that. I don't, not on mobile also, not on PC, mobile. I would rather play actual game, but no computer game. It was so engraved in that. So I got a very good boss that time. And he used to say, your coming to office is fixed. Going from office is, I will decide when you will go. So same day or next day, and it was a production. It was totally production, this thing. And Lonavala, up down. So morning 6 o'clock, train 6:30, and then earliest was Deccan Queen. Otherwise next day Deccan Queen. So stay there. So that was really fun. So hard work is the only, I will say, answer. I mean, today people say I'm stressed, I cannot focus. I don't understand why there is a stress. I mean, at that age, why can't we slog?
Yes. So you mentioned not a video game person, and you would rather play. So what do you play? What sports, and what
So
you are more a fitness person?
I mean, that's the that is classic. I always say in office or wherever I go, we should play actual physical games. I will prefer team games, which helps you even if you don't perform and the team wins, you can still enjoy. On individual games like badmintons or tennis, yes, sometimes you can get into a different zone. But in team games, actually, you can celebrate even if you are not performed. So in team games, sharing of this thing happens, joy happens. At the same time, why I insist on playing is that when you are playing in the young age, in the school or college days, you get used to winning and losing.
Yeah.
You don't get, actually, you don't get, these days, there is a lot of word on the depression, on the work balance, work-life balance, and this thing. But if you are playing, if you have played, you can overcome these feelings of, this is my thing. It may not be more true for others, but it definitely helps. So I used to play kabaddi, I used to play cricket, badminton, all sorts of games. Today also. Today my hand got dislocated in kabaddi, playing for university. So I stopped playing cricket and all these things. Yeah. But I said, my bucket list is of golf, which I completed. Bucket list of tennis I could not do because this swing was not happening. I said, let me try. And this guy, the coach, told me how the racket should move. I said, there is no problem now. I can play. So I started playing 6 months back.
Wow.
So it definitely clears your mind when you slog for at least 1 hour on the ground, any ground, let it be. It definitely clears your mind, thought process, that sweating. You come out of that and you can better focus on the job much better. So playing, I will prefer playing rather than video games.
Great. You mentioned in previous answer, you mentioned about clarity. I'll take it back to the code.
Yes.
So you mentioned earlier that you had COBOL or Fortran. So how was your interest with the programming languages? Did you pick them up? Did you like it? How was it?
I picked them up, but that's how we come to know what you are. So as I told you, I tried thrice doing post graduation. So COBOL, Fortran. Then there was a very high peak of C++.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined CDAC. CDAC used to be a good this thing organization. So I did C++, 6 months. Continued, took admission in Symbiosis, Symbiosis for post graduation diploma. While doing this, I came to know that I am not a person who will sit and code. So clarity. I mean, you have to know yourself.
Yes.
You have to know yourself. So while doing the job, which was in power electronics actually,
Oh.
from say, UPS, I shifted from computer science to UPS with Deshpande. When he scolded me, next day you have to be in Lonavala and I will talk to Gupta ji and I will handle that, how to transition. And from there, I almost 7 years I was in UPS industry. And as I said, my father was not keeping well, so I shifted from Lonavala to Pune in Champion UPS. There also I got a lot of freedom. I mean, the bosses, you have to get very good bosses. So when I say that I got very good bosses, it helped me to develop myself as a boss. How can I be good to people? And that's how it developed the clarity in my mind that he is good to me. He is giving me freedom. How can I give freedom? So the clarity has to come from the job or the thinking or maybe reading, maybe all those experiences. So if that clarity comes in this, it helps you in guiding your career actually. So it has, so though it was a technical field, while doing that post graduation, COBOL, Fortran, then C++, I understood that I am not a person who can sit there for 8 hours and do the coding. So again shifted to power electronics and then got into business, and it was a natural evolution of techno commercial role. And after that, I understood, yes, I can do this. I can do this very well. And today also, see, technical learning cannot stop. As an engineer or for any person, it cannot stop. Person has to. It's a continual learning, not
Right.
just this thing. So today also I have to learn. Every has to learn. Now I understood what to learn. So this clarity is very essential. I mean, when you said code, chaos, clarity, it is very essential for this young generation. What you are trying to do from various activities in colleges, GPU community or research community or this podcast. It is very essential that we can develop this young kids to get that clarity. If you see today in the world of AI, which is what we together brought us together us, so there is a huge hue and cry about coders will not be required.
True.
Or this thing. But I don't think so. I mean, coders will be required. Their role will be different. Instead of writing the code, they may write a code for AI actually. But coding will not go anywhere. But it may change. I mean, there will be some automation which will come into this. So if we get this chaos cleared in the mind of the young technocrats, it will help them actually. Good initiative from your side, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. So you said the jobs were great. You had great bosses. What was the point when you decided to jump in and start your own business? What was the trigger? What led you to start?
Okay, this is again the clarity. So why I didn't pursue vigorously post graduation is one of these reasons that in my mind, I will give you different context. In industries, if you see yesterday's news of Piramal sir, VIP Industries, when he said next generation doesn't want to take
Yeah.
the responsibility. So if you see the trend, so third generation, fourth generation may not be as passionate or interested as the first or second generations are. So when my father came into in Pune and he started lawyer, when I was getting into the education and this thing, and with the school background of those competitive friends, I said, I have only option of raising this bar. I do not have an option to take it lower or this thing.
Right.
The bar has to raise. So now, when I say to my daughter or nephew, you have got an only option to raise this bar. That's how we have to cultivate and groom this, how they have to raise this bar. That's how, so this clarity, when I said, how can I do this? Either in a job or in a business. So electronics and telecommunication is a field which definitely encourages you get into business. So there was one small kida that I should get into business. So I used to always speak to friends and they say, ultimately I want to get into business. So that time I had this clarity that techno-commercial, I'm good at techno-commercial. I could be good at techno-commercial roles. So when I started doing this thinking and developing as a career, so that time I said, if I get into job, what kind of job I should, what business, what should a kind of this thing, uh, it, if I had to do business, what kind of job I should do. So there this reference of my father came that do you want to get into Tata Motors or Bajaj or those kind of things. I said no, let me find out my way. So I started working into small companies, medium scale and SMEs. I will say those are not small companies; they are good companies. In these SMBs, I got an exposure of all departments.
Right.
I mean, uh, it was some kind of pre-sales, production, store, shop floor experience, workshop, all angles of the business. I got an 360 degrees, or today's world 360 degrees view of the business, how these things happen in the field. That gave me shape my mind in doing getting into a business, and it was becoming sharper and sharper. So in the UPS industry, when I was working in Champion, and they Champion had done a joint venture with a French company, and there was one clause in the uh, in the agreement that any of the companies goes bankrupt, the control will come to the original company. Incidentally, French company got bankrupt, so the control came back to this thing. But then that time I understood, that time this Emerson, Liberty, or Tata Liberty, Emerson, or Vertiv these days, and Schneider or APC, were just getting into India. And we used to analyze these products from the other side of the table. And that time I understood that these companies have got deep pockets, and UPS industry will remain as a small scale industry and like a cottage industry. Today also it is the same thing. It has not grown, the local players have not gone, they have been taken over by these MNCs. So that time it started coming to my mind that I think we have reached the pinnacle of this in the career. So better to get into a business and look for something else. And but only thing is that this is also one clarity which is required in mind, that I will not do any unethical thing. So UPS is very easy. You can copy it and you can start selling it. Your next day you are on. But we said no, nothing doing. So when we resigned, myself and Chintamani both were working together. So we said we will not touch UPS. Convert me. We will not sell also. So that confidence is given to that entire industry, and because everybody knew us. DB used to be a very powerful that time. Dilip Bhide sir and Deshpandes and all those. Applab was a very great name in UPS industry that time. So they used to know us, the ecosystem used to know us. So I said, let's not get into that same thing. We started with office automation. And then in 2000, because of my close friend, the school friends, he said, I want to buy notebook, and you have got into business, so you only give me this thing. We were in office automation, selling fax machines, photocopiers and projectors that time. So okay, let's study. So because of the background, we studied entire market that time. So HP, IBM. HP was not there in India that time.
Yeah.
Compaq, then IBM, and whosoever is there, HCL, Wipros were big that time. We thought Compaq seems to be a much easily approachable and this thing. So we approached Compaq, we signed up with them, and now after that we have not looked back. So Compaq got taken over by HP,
yeah.
and so that's how the journey is.
And which year was it?
This was in 2000.
2000.
So 96 we left job. 4000 we were, so 4000 4 years were definitely troubling. Whether it was the right decision or not. Whether to get into office automation is not a, you can say, it's not a flamboyant industry. It is just a supportive industry, it says. And if you see today, the product relevance is gone. Fax machine, nobody uses these days. If you see, copiers are less. I mean, it has changed into print cum copy and all those things. So it was a right decision to get into IT. And if you see, we got into IT. Actually, now by the time 14 years had passed, so we had lost the touch of whatever we learned in colleges.
No, very interesting. Since you mentioned about the right decision, I'll highlight another decision of yours, which I'm sure you'll say was the right decision, was to look at Nvidia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when did you come to know of Nvidia GPUs, and so one is, when did you come to know of the GPUs and Nvidia, and second, when did it appear to you that yes, now you should go all in?
Absolutely. Here also, this I will go back to the roots of the job. So when we were doing job, I was handling production, and my colleague Chintamani used to handle service. Production and naturally whatever development. I will not call research. I am not a research guy. That way. So development, what was it was coming to us. So we and our bosses, I will tell you, Prere and Mohite, they said they have been traveling worldwide, and they come from very good family background. So jointly we used to discuss, let's do one thing. That time, that classic case had happened of Hero Honda taking over Bajaj, and scooter was losing fast time. So let's not get into, we should not be affected like this. So let's do one thing. Every 6 months we used to roll out new UPS. How it was that time, when I told you, it was when we got out, it was XT. XT के बाद आया 80. XT, our UPS XT. 80, our UPS 80. So it was very easy to correlate which UPS to buy. These days, again, that time, power conditions were not very good in India. So it was struggling. The UPS used to be like those Godrej cupboards, big UPS, online UPS. So we said, let us come out with a small UPS, one computer, and you are good to go. So it was saving time and this thing. And then you put a generator. So long time backup was handled like this. So we used to release every 6 months, 1 year, new model. XT, 80, Pentium, and all those series parallel to that we rolled. The same thing when we got into business. Once we got into this thing, we were following this like the concept of getting into dance floor and the balcony. We used to go and say, what is coming in, new trend which is coming in. So from that day, 2000 we got into IT. From that time, every 4 to 5 years, we have added something which is which is newly coming. So in 2004, we get into service industry. We got official HP service center. Uh, we in 2008 we got into enterprise server storage business, which was lacking from our side. In 2012, we along with 14 top partners across the country, we floated cloud. It was indigenous cloud company. Today is not doing well actually, but we were way ahead of time. So around 2012, we launched this public cloud like Amazon's and Azure based on HP technology. In 2014-15, there was a discussion in one of my close deals that security and AI, where IoT, I will not say AI at that time, IoT, security. We have been selling Nvidia products along with the workstations from 2003 or 4, and we were known till today also we are known for as workstation sales in HP as well as in Nvidia. So we had developed a very good relationship with Nvidia team also because of the volume we used to sell. So that time, because of the Nvidia's association around 2014, we started coming that this IoT and other products of Nvidia, GPU, parallel computing that was coming. And initial days, it was a virtual, how can we virtualize GPU? That was the discussion point. And they had come out with BGPUs and all those softwares. And we used to test in our office. It was in near the Raul Talkies. The team used to come and we used to test all those softwares in our office. We had invested into server and we used to. So till that time, GPU used to be in workstation. That time we started putting into server and started slicing it. It was not that it was at that technology what at nascent stage. Tata Motors showed a lot of interest because they had this thing. So that's how our relationship with Nvidia started. So around 2014, 15, 16, security or IoT and AI. AI was just coming in that time. I said security does not give me what you can say satisfaction. It is always based on threat. It is not a good feel that it, whatever I we give suggestion as a on a security measures, whatever the customer invests into security, nobody can put a hand on the heart that I'm secure. So it is after doing so much, still there is a pain. There is a sword dangling on your head that you are always worried, sleepless nights. And this is not a business. Should I be in this business like an insurance? That what happens if you die? So let's say we said our organization is positive always. So let's focus on IoT and AI. That 2015-16 in our association got started deeper into Nvidia and all their products. Thereafter we started focusing. We were all the initial all technology. So today also we focus on all Nvidia products, not just only AI GPUs. So we focus on Jetson, we focus on vGPU, NVAI, their software stack, and developed our the skill sets around that. So the stage was that every 5 years we kept on adding with the new technology, which is thing. Now the pace has increased. So that is putting us a lot of this thing that it is more becoming a software now than hardware. So Nvidia also calls themselves now these days as software companies rather than hardware, and their focus is. So our now aim and objective coming days will be how can we cope up with that pace, because till recent years the recruits which were there for hardware point of view, now we have to change the thinking, get the people who can understand software, understand the software stack. And again here also that your why I liked your core chaos clarity. Clarity is very important. When we started doing this Nvidia relationship and thinking, we were also bullish about getting into AI. IoT, from my perspective, didn't give us that kick, or I will say After getting into IoT, we understood that this is not our game. So that's clarity is very important. I mean, that word is very so important that we ventured into 2-3 years. We did a lot of work in IoT. We used to do one small projects, but when we started addressing the larger scope of industry 4.0s and shop floor automation and all those criteria, then I said, hey, this is not electronics and telecommunication. This is not my core. This is not computer. This is instrumentation.
Correct.
SCADAs and PLCs. This is not. I do not have expertise. I do not have the core strength in this. So what am I doing it? Same thing. We were we are still doing IoT projects limited to one small project, not into large scale automation or this thing, because it's not our domain. Similarly, when we got into AI ecosystem and all these things, we were very bullish. Okay, let's develop our own softwares, and we got some this thing engineers and started doing some CCTV camera automation, which is the products are still smaller level. We do that this thing, but then again, when it started evolving after 3-4 years, we understood that this is not our game. These are different skill sets which are required. The education background which is required is different, which is not our domain. That clarity also came in around COVID time.
Okay.
Then we focused, okay, let's do what we are good at. So we started enabling the customers, helping the customers on their journey on AI, and setting up their and enabling them how to use this. Many times the software knows, the coder knows how to code. He may not know the intricacies of the stack, Kubernetes and all those things which are required, containerization. So we focused only till that time and handed over. And now you do whatever you do. So this clarity is very important, and it is an important stage in everybody's really speaking career. He should have that clarity.
Great. So about the Nvidia thing, in last, especially last 5 years, as you have seen how from being a virtually unknown company to becoming the Earth's most valuable company.
Yes.
What's your take on what is happening in India in the ecosystem, since you are so entrenched and you have been one of the early adopters and in fact enablers of the whole ecosystem? What do you see? Do you see the progress that you have seen in last 5-7 years, the way people have or industry has adopted GPUs or AI? Do you think that is good, or do you see we are not doing that much?
Yes, definitely. I will. I mean, in code chaos clarity, earlier my predecessors were Sunil Gupta, Sharat Sanghi sir. Both these they have set up data centers, huge. They have set up AI clouds. I represent a fraternity which talks about on-prem. So there are these three different streams which are going in the market. If you see, analyze. So one is this public clouds which are AWS, Azure, and they have been promoting, and it is very easy to go and use those infrastructures. There also you're struggling these days to get the GPUs. Then this second layer which came, new data center players like Shakti Cloud or CP or Entity, all those players. So co-location plus AI GPUs.
AI cloud.
And third fraternity which is on premises. So here what we think when we go and meet customers and how it is doing. So to answer your question, is it optimal? We are definitely lacking. The effort, most of the companies are totaling and just finding what should be their AI strategy. They're at that initial stages. It is not you can mainstream activity these days. Everybody is going through that initial stage of AI journey, getting the company on the AI journey. But so what I see from the if you see the enterprise customers, big large customers, they are not very keen on getting into public cloud because of the data which is there.
Correct.
And so their natural inclination is to set up on-prem infrastructure. So this is one definite trend which is I can see, but because they are at the initial stage and this thing, so the scale is not that big. So we are definitely the scale has not reached the peak, but as it is, if you see overall IT penetration in Indian market has not crossed 20%. So there is large scope for future, but because of the rationing of GPUs these days,
Of
there is
course.
there is still there is another area. But yes, definitely. I mean, enterprises are thinking on premises this thing, and people are reluctant to go to cloud because of the data as well as the cost involved.
Cost.
So balance of activities, but the startups are definitely using cloud, and SMBs are using cloud because it is easy for them to, because investment into on-prem AI setups is very huge. Minimum it starts with 5-6 crores or it can go to 1 million. So SMBs and startups definitely don't cannot afford this kind of, so that burst of balance. So if you see Nvidia, their first approach was hyperscalers, and now they have started focusing on enterprise.
Yeah.
And the thing AI factory, if you see in all
Yes.
those these things, so the now they have focusing on the next target is enterprises, big large customers who are definitely now planning of AI journey strategy. Initial few they have identified few projects which can be enrolled, but it will take a couple of years to make it mainstream. This is what the industry is telling. I am a very small person in this thing who can comment, but yes, enterprise there is a I can see there is a movement nowadays. But education remains the same again field where this is going very high. So so first if you see we work very closely with Nvidia in first phase up to COVID or 22-23. We covered all A grade institutions across Maharashtra and various areas. Now the phase has come for B grade cities and C grade cities, where but a lot of work needs to be done. Really
So there is a huge market.
huge market, and what I see from various interactions with people and with various, and as I told you, I come from a place, a small place in Marathwada. I can see a large gap. I mean,
Yes.
if you see engineering colleges where they are doing computer science degree course or post graduation, but still there is a majority chunk which is the government, Maharashtra government or central government, that investing into AI setups, AI journey. We are very, you know, both of us are working very closely with government, state government as well as central government. Still, there is a large chunk of BSc, BCA or BCAs colleges, layer of diploma colleges where, so all those will not be into coding. So this clarity, your episode is very good. I mean, I asked Amaya how you found that word, this thing. It's so important that if the government or we, the players who are involved, if we get this clarity, what is to be played at what level?
Yes.
At if you see engineering colleges, AI coding, but there is this BCA, BSc. We can enable them on data annotation, data segregation, data science. Not everybody can play at this, but there is a huge number of skills required at the secondary level also.
Correct.
So if we help them on that journey, still it is good,
Correct.
and it will be still good business that way.
Yeah. So talking about Nvidia, of course, it's not complete till I mention GTC. Uh, you have been to GTC
Yes.
multiple times. Okay, but what was the first time that you went to GTC? First GTC.
So my I've been attending offline afterwards couple also. I always come back with dropped shoulders from GTC. The amount of the technology which is showcased there, I mean, we come to know where we stand.
True.
Absolutely. I mean, the way GTC projects about the future technologies, and it gives you a mirror. It shows you a mirror where you stand actually. And when you ask me, is it sufficient? When you go to GTC and come back, then you understand where we are, and then the efforts what we see in India, or the projects which are going on, or the business scale which is there, it definitely at a very initial stage when you see at the GTC level.
But I always have been wondering about this, and this time again when we were at
Yes.
GTC,
Huh.
I was given a number by the Nvidia team that how many people have come from India. It was an embarrassingly low number. I don't want to even mention it here. They were in total at GTC, this year, like they had 27,000 plus people total.
Yes, yes. My colleague Chandan was there. He made video.
And from there, the representation from India was just about 1% or 2%. And what do you think? Why? I don't know why it's happening, but why do you think people are not going to just attend GTC from India? You don't find even forget startups, at least I can say maybe they don't have that kind of funds, but then there are large startups they have. But what about enterprises? What about other companies? Why people are not going to GTC? Do they not know about it? or they think that maybe it's not useful? What's your take?
GTC is Global Technology Conference. So actually, technical people, technocrats are expected to go and attend it. And what I have seen, I mean, in while interacting with the large enterprise customers and this thing, the amount of investment which is going into say, AI projects, just similar to IoT projects, Industry 4.0 projects. Initial project, pilot projects, everybody, the management mindshare is they are able to get.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see the pilot projects getting deployed, and but there it is getting stopped. It is not going on a large scale. This is what that feel out the industry, whatever feedbacks are there. So it could be multiple reasons for this. That is there any question of capability? I don't think so. If our Indians are working in US and are able to deliver, I mean the kind of work you are doing,
Very much in Nvidia itself.
Nvidia, yeah, and the kind of work you are doing, there is no question of skill sets here. So what could be the reason is that buying the mind share of the management to have the investment to get into AI projects. There are different AI HR problems which are associated with AI. I will tell you a classic example when we worked on one IoT project where we automized one process. One large company, German company.
Mm-hmm.
It was a small project. I mean, there was one tray of 96 parts, and the counters to be taken, and the whole measurement from the top is to be measured and the dimension. So we automated that process. Accuracy 100%. So no issue on that. So it was computer vision based. It was not AI project. It is actually IoT project. So we completed that. It was fully functional, and then it was small project, 10 lakh rupees project, and only one production line. So we said, okay, we got 100% accuracy. So we were hoping that now multiple lines will get converted. There were 7-8 lines, and the project got shelved. And we were chasing and this thing. And and after 6 months, the owner happened to visit our office and said, "Sir, kya hua? Why? Can we go ahead with this?" There is a big problem, he said. What do I do with the person who is doing the QC? So I could correlate that the person, what to do. It's HR problem now. IoT and AI are posing HR problem in this case. So and still there is in India, there is one thinking that banda laga do, काम जल्दी हो जाएगा.
Correct.
AI, why do you want to? So the ecosystem of Indian businesses or the mindshare could be the hindrance. Multiple forces. I mean, buying the mindshare of the management to have an investment into such things. So that is why it is not taking that scale. That could be the reason of low turnout in GTC. I don't think there is a skill set level gap. It may not be related to business. Could be. We have to understand, dig more into, because I have seen in big corporate enterprises also that now they are thinking of it with agentic AI and all these things. At least small internal automation process. So today AI, I don't know what is your take or my experience is that today AI in Indian context is looking at how can I reduce the cost. So that's where it is. I don't know whether it will help customer experience or it is looking at. So if I have to look at reducing the cost, how can I do it? So maybe there it is stuck, but we have to find that answer.
Yeah, my take actually is, see, if again I see that should be obvious. One, look at how much US is investing.
Yes.
Right, billions, hundreds of billions,
billions.
and it's already crossed a trillion that's going into it, that has been committed. Look at how much China is investing into it,
Huge.
and look at how US now wants to guard this, rationing the GPUs.
National GPUs. It is
Isn't-
limiting.
I mean, this is the very clear sign. If not anything else that could have told you, this is a very clear sign that how valuable it is as a technology that US actually does not want you to have enough of it.
Absolutely.
Still people are not understanding. Is it, do you see, is it that as you spoke about the management layer or decision makers, is it because they don't have that kind of an exposure or awareness, that they don't know what all AI is capable of? Or
So I had given this candid feedback to Nvidia team leadership that why don't you have a management people visiting conference? Let not it be so technical, but if they know the power of AI, how it will be useful to them, then it might help. What we have been saying this, that while these enterprises are gearing to invest into AIs, but government will still be a very large consumption, can be a consumption partner for AI. There are so many processes, things which can actually give a good governance or good last mile experience if government adopts AI. So even if government invests into AI and whatever that rationing, whatever we are giving, still there will be a huge potential for the industry to work on the projects or invest into the manpower, the skill sets. So overall, if enterprises are not in position to invest. At least if government invests and get these projects done, downloaded, it might just help.
Okay.
This was, I mean, we have been trying this, working with various government departments, that if they support this activity. For example, in education, all these colleges cannot invest so high.
True.
So if government takes some initiatives of funding this B grade cities, C grade cities, the students may become employable. Today they are not employable.
True.
Similar way, there are processes which are agriculture department, healthcare. You have been very active in healthcare. So healthcare, manufacturing, and are the highest where the AI projects can be very fast deployable, and the results can be very easily seen. So if government also takes these initiatives, it might just help. But again, if those traction starts happening, the footfall in GTC will increase. Till that time, it seems to be conservative. It seems.
No, in this again, you spoke about government, been interacting with government, and it's been great. There is genuine attempt at the top,
Yes.
and they want to change things, and they are. But I think somewhere I still feel the bureaucracy in between,
Yes.
and of course can't take names or who it is or what department. I know of wherein certain very senior bureaucrats, they could not even understand difference between a CPU and a GPU.
Yes.
Somebody just mentioned that, oh, now government is invested and getting these 10,000 GPUs or so on and everything, all of it. 10,000 crore has gone into GPUs. Now we are getting these many GPUs. Now we don't need CPUs. What do you need CPUs for? This is something which if you're
Lack of knowledge.
complete lack of knowledge.
So here this government has the government is doing some Maharashtra government is sending questionnaire for surveys from Home Department, Police Department. So I have been giving them the candid feedback on this, that how the technology should be utilized at Police Department. Besides their personal hygiene, health, accommodation, but technology, I mean the financial frauds, I don't think the government is geared up. 11,000 crores financial fraud, that money is gone somewhere. I mean, if that's common man's money, if there is some technology which is put to use. I mean, in Europe, if you see, Suyash was telling me that there are so many restrictions because of which the frauds are not there.
Correct.
When we have opened up so much with social media and all these things, so financial frauds are left, right, and center. So let us use the technology. I mean, somewhere, someone has to get inside. I mean, get into the shoes and do this development activity. So jobs, there is one huge hue and cry, AI will take jobs. It's not going to, it's going to change.
Exactly.
So many things are required here, actually.
And computers did not take the job, it produced more jobs.
Produce more jobs. And here also in AI, if we do the right skilling,
yes,
it is going to help, really speaking. So actually, I mean, wherever it is required, if the government starts investing, government takes initiatives in this thing, automatically the fallback will happen on the enterprise, because they will start getting the work which on these things. So natural boost will happen, it seems.
Correct. So now again, changing the tracks, since we were at GTC, I wanted to ask you something related to travel.
Yes.
So do you like traveling?
Yes, I like traveling. I like traveling. I mean, whatever. Basically, I'm energetic person. So whatever somebody else does a good job and he likes to say, oh, let me do this. So I like that. So if somebody goes for trekking, I want to go to Himalayas. If somebody jumps on so in scuba diving, I would
Wow.
definitely try. So like this. So yes, traveling, I enjoy traveling.
So what's
By
your
car,
favorite place?
so overseas, if you see, Europe is a good place to go. I mean, recently I was there 15 days, took a break in UK
Hmm.
and Scotland. So enjoyed
Oh, Scotland is
Scotland,
beautiful.
beautiful. So Europe is different. I mean, it has because of the history and how they have preserved their history and documentation. Documentation is key. I mean, we definitely lack documentation. We have got so much history. We have got so much natural resources, but we fail to have documentation. I mean, what a small castle, but they will have that entire documentation ready and
Correct.
the fascination, and we
Correct.
say, यार हमारे यहाँ तो संस्थान ही के है ऐसे, but there is no documentation.
Yes.
I mean, so we have to learn. I mean, this itself will give so much of jobs there in India.
True.
Tourism. It will have AI also in that field actually, but it has to evolve. Really speaking,
So
so a lot of
again,
traveling. I enjoy traveling.
so from
Sports, traveling,
okay.
reading. These are definitely. So I am not a. You can say, I don't see much web series. Not a TV person, but sports, any sports, let it be. So whenever I reach home, my daughter and me either watch matches or news.
Wow.
मैं जब नहीं रहता हूँ, then they watch TV series that way. Yes. So
Something connected to travel.
Yeah.
You said you were in UK and loved Scotland, but so all this while, and I see 90s was a time when that wave had started. People like going from India to US, Europe, whatever, largely US, and for jobs and so on, then settling down. Did that thought not come to you that maybe you should take up something abroad or settle abroad?
oh, never. In the jobs or in the learning, it was a kid of doing something on my own. So never thought of going abroad. Never, actually never. I don't remember I ever made an effort also. I didn't apply for MS. I could have definitely got. I mean,
Yes.
it was not GRE TOEFL cracking was not difficult. So I would have definitely, but I never tried also. That small this thing that let me do something on my own. And second is raising the bar. So these are the two drivers, really speaking. How do I raise my bar? What my father has said. How do I raise? And now we talk the same thing in our office. You have to have always succession plans, second generation.
Sure.
Maybe if somebody is not coming from family, how do we enable the existing team members? There, how do you raise this bar? That's the question. So it never came to me settling abroad. Going abroad, I love it. There is no. So we keep on counting how many countries we have covered now. But that's it. Go and come.
So you mentioned
I
about
love it. I mean, whenever I touch down, I enjoy it. Coming back to India, let it be a chaos, but we enjoy that chaos. I mean, how you look at it?
we thrive in chaos.
Yes, yes.
So you mentioned about succession, and so that prompts me. How have you built this team all these many years? How do you recruit people? How do you get the right people in your team?
It is always difficult getting the right team. So this is one, getting the right team. But that is at various. There are multiple factors in this. But one thing is in our hand: retaining what we have, the good people. So there we focus. So if you see our team is more or less constant over last 15-20 years. So as I told you, I got very good bosses. So I always see to it, how can I be a good boss? With the time changing, how do I be friendly with them? There is no now relation of boss or a subordinate
True.
or this thing. So today in our office, anybody can come to me, anybody can talk to me anything. Even if they can have a blast with me, but I don't lose my control. So this is what that has hold the team for last. So the core team was of almost 20-25 people is constantly there for 25, 30, 20 years now.
Wow.
And so this too, getting the right candidate is difficult, and it is changing with the era. Every 4 or 5 years we keep on adding something. So my colleague Mahesh, you are
Yes.
aware, and other thing, they always say, अभी आप क्या लेके आओगे मेरे सामने. So 4 or 5 years when you travel abroad, go to GTC, go to HP's conferences, or interact with Cisco or Microsoft, you you are bombarded with so much technologies or trends. I always try to attend if there is a lecture from IDC or Gartner or this thing. It could be their agenda, could be their business process, but there are some data pointers which help you align your strategies, align your goals, and develop your organization for the future. So recruitment is getting the right people is difficult. Every 4 or 5 years, if you are changing, then if the business is changing, just like AI has changed so many in last 5 years.
Correct.
Normal AI, generative AI, agentic AI, it is not stopping.
Yeah.
And full-fledged AI, it is not stopping. So developing the skilled people at each stage is difficulty. So holding on to whatever we have is definitely in your hand, and rest is being a good boss will be a key driver force, actually.
Great, great. Do you have any instances where you hit the rock bottom, where you had a really tough time, where you kind of questioned
That
why?
period when I got out of job and doing office automation, those 4 years were definitely
So
questionable.
96 to 2000.
To 96 to 2001, I will say. The whole question whether to get out of the business and get out of the job and get out of the job and getting into business, because see, we were used to good salaries that time, reached at the top level, having all facilities that time, and it was a period of that 2000 .com
.com burst, yes.
burst. So actually after that people started moving and making money. Before that it was just again our gestation period. Everybody was trying and testing and developing skill sets. So that time multiple times the thought came, is it a right decision? Is it a right decision? But we stick around. I mean, only hard work. I mean, let's continue on this path. Let us see what is happening. Let the antennas be this. Okay, this is a good field. So spending 8 to 9 years in technical field helped us at least understand what is happening. Today also, if I would have gone into MBA immediately after the engineering, I wouldn't have caught those antennas, the signals. Spending the time. So today also, as I told earlier, that we keep on reading, attending the conference, attending the technical conference is not just this thing, attending the technical sessions. It may be bumper right now, many times. It might go above the head. But now I know by experience what to capture from that. What is the right signal for me? And that helps me in planning and execution of the process. But those 5 years were definitely, we just stayed together and kept on going. But that time, multiple times, is it a right decision? Are we doing right? ये क्या हो रहा है यार? कुछ नहीं हो रहा है इसमें. Facts listen.
How did your family take it at that period, that time?
My wife, we stayed together, my brother and everyone. So my wife is an architect. So With me, she also left her job.
Oh.
So both, both of us. But luckily, when we were having that tough time of this thing, she had got good projects of interior. तो घर चलता रहा उस दौरान. So actually, and my Chintamani's wife is also working. So home front, it was cool. It was not a pressure that time. Uh, it was internal pressure of performance. I mean, coping with this thing, and this is faced by today's field. I mean, when we say why we should play, or this thing, that if you are studious, then you are comparing your expectations with yourself are so high, and if you lag somewhere, then you get into that mental stress, and then those problems we are facing these days, that people are going to that mental depression kind of thing. It is comparison with your expectations, and when you are working and playing in this thing, then it gets diluted, really speaking. But if your home front is you can kind of taken care, then that pressure reduces actually. So that was kind of there was no pressure from the home front, but naturally after that 2001 phase, when HP and Compact we decided to get into, then we thought this is the right way, and then we had never looked back. But those 5 years were definitely. But I think those initial days are good for those are struggling period for every startup. I mean,
Everybody.
if they stuck around that time, there is a chance that they will. And so adopting to the situations, changing as per the situation is necessary.
Correct.
If you stick to that, I want to do this, and the forces are not, then there is a likely failure. So even if many times these startups, there is a lot of debate which is happening that so many startups have shut down in India. So somebody has to mentor these guys actually, so that they keep on adapting. Only one product may not sufficient, may not be sufficient.
Any regrets in life?
No. No,
Anywhere
no.
where you felt that professionally
Not
maybe
regret. I would have definitely liked some degree after B.
Oh, you mentioned that, yes, post-graduate, something we would have
So
picked up.
definitely. But then I tried to complement it with this executive programs and this
you
thing.
mentioned,
So,
yes.
but definitely, it's not a regret. I would have definitely liked, but now the time is gone. I will say now the concentration doesn't happen. I have seen beyond 30 minutes, I'm not been able to concentrate. Let it that way. No regrets, but.
So now you've been at business 25 years, and I think you have seen multiple business cycles. And
Yes.
the business is now I can again say, thanks to AI and Nvidia's rise and your position as a partner there, everything is going great.
Yes.
What's next? What's next for you, for Vintech? What do you see?
2015-16, we were toying with the idea, किस राह जाऊं मैं? Atal Bihari Vajpayee sir की जो कविता है. There were two streams with his. One was IoT AI, second was security. I don't think we'll be able to keep ourselves away from security for a long time. It is going to be critical. I mean, unless we develop skill sets on security and helping the customer, whatever we do integration with the customer, it has to be secure. So the days are gone that will say we are not working on security, or we don't. So next will be focus on security, not just SOCs and this thing. That is a different, but same again. We should we have now we have understood that we should do what we are good at. So whatever we are doing integration, system integration job, so we ourselves are considering one step below HCLs, Wipros, and those master system integrators who are present across the country and doing projects of some thousands of crores. So we are one level below that. But whatever we are doing has to be secure. So whatever is required, so that's the plan actually. So skill sets, aligning the skill sets, aligning the investment, aligning the resources. that way. So that's how that plan is there. So that seems to be immediate. Long term, again, technology keep evaluating what is coming.
What would be your advice to the students coming out of college now, especially those who would want to be a founder, who would want to run a business?
If you get into a business without experience, there is a likely negative what you can say outcome. If you have certain experience of industry, of job, or this thing, you are much better chances of success in your own this thing. That is what how I develop myself. So if there is a we took over one company. So those are colleagues, Chandan, you have met, Dilip. They started just going after getting out of engineering college, and we started after 8 to 9 years.
Correct.
There is a difference in our approach, in our office also. I can see that. So experience in working under somebody else is very essential. I mean, then you are actually you get used to the boss, how to deal with colleagues, boss, working in environment, adapting to the situations, getting the experience. Now, where you should, whether you should get this experience in a large enterprise or an SMB, where you can get exposures, different exposures, is up to that individual. But if the startup is started after some experience, likelihood of success could be higher. I don't know. I mean, this could be personal. Yours is different. You're a technocrat, so.
So that brings me to the end for today. Thanks a lot, Rajeev ji. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here in this podcast, and it kind of completes the one loop with us. Definitely, that you have been
Yes.
a great support in all this while with Vintech. I think we got some time to speak about
Absolutely,
what's happening in
Yes.
in technology and in these areas. So great. Thanks a lot for coming down, and all the best
Future.
for Vintech.
I thank Partex AI team that you have given us this opportunity to talk to you in detail on various aspects and sharing ideas and jointly sharing those ideas. Let's hope this will help the students or upcoming business, and we definitely continue to help them wherever it is possible, jointly together.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Great. Thank you.
होप ये पॉडकास्ट आपको पसंद आया होगा। अगर हाँ तो लाइक करें, शेयर करें अपने मित्रों के साथ, और प्लीज़ डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल। एंड यस, डोंट फॉरगेट टू प्रेस द बेल आइकन, ताकि आपको नोटिफिकेशंस मिलते रहें हमारे हर नए एपिसोड्स के बारे में। एंड मिलते हैं एक नए एपिसोड में हमारे नए गेस्ट के साथ। टिल देन, थैंक यू।